All right, welcome to the second half of the show. It is the right side of Kentucky sports. We had a little switcheroo here on the set. Josh is still with us, but he is at home now, and we were able to drag Anthony out of the shower, away from his taxes. He's here for the second half of the show as well. Anthony, I see that you're not the only person that not only gets an extension, but then also waits until the last second. I'm in the same boat. It's no excuse to miss the podcast. So please tell me that doing your taxes and in the shower is code word for getting some ass.
No, it's not. I wish it was. I wish it was. No, taxes was. I didn't even know y'all knew I was doing my taxes just now.
Rex told us.
He gave me up. All right. You're the
He
one.
said, I said, where's your dad at, Rex? He said, he's in the shower doing his taxes. I said, yeah, I know what that means.
You're the one that told me about the extension that they had, the flood relief extension. I didn't even know about it. I was stressing about my taxes coming up. Charlie says, you got an extra 6 months. I was like, yes. Now the 6 months is here, of course.
Yep. So Josh is at home. Anthony's here. Kentucky plays Texas this week, and the Cardinals go down to Miami. We starting with football, or we starting with Big Blue Madness? Because we did not talk about Big Blue Madness last week.
I think we start with, I said we roll with Big Blue Madness. We got to talk a little bit about it, and we end with football.
What percentage of Kentucky fans think it's basketball season right now?
Probably 99.
Nah, honestly, I don't think it's as high. I mean, I'd say 40%.
Ooh. You're both off.
Whenever you can get away with 50-50 revenue sharing and no other school's doing it, and you can get away with it and your fans are happy, I would say 99%.
No, you're both off. It ain't that high, and I don't think it's that low either. But I'd say it's pretty close to 3 out of 4. It's basketball season. Big Blue Madness. I think it's lost some hype. What do y'all think?
It has.
Well, it used to be a big event. They used to have it at midnight. That was the rule, that you couldn't start practice to midnight. Now they let it go early. And look, let's just be honest about it. We are so much more connected to these players now. Like, you've seen the players play before they played. I remember waiting for Big Blue Madness, and a lot of times that was the first time you ever seen that particular athlete play. You had heard about him. You had read about him in the Cat Paws magazine. Oh, he was a 5-star player. He was really athletic. But a lot of times you had never seen him actually play, and you were waiting on the edge of your seat, waiting to see what kind of team you had. This go around, you know what you got, because they probably have played for 5 other teams in 5 different conferences.
But you ain't watched them.
No, but you can look up video of them.
The whole YouTube generation and Twitter generation. Yes. You've seen so many highlights of these kids. In years to come, I think Big Blue Madness even gets smaller as the older fans like us. Unless we raise our kids to be like us, but the generation is different. I think it's going to go down. And they've brought it up before. I think they should move it to Memorial Coliseum. Make it smaller, make it more intimate.
I agree. I like that idea too. I used to love Big Blue Madness. The last one I went to was John Wall's team, and it was awesome, but I haven't been to one since. And I just feel like it's more of a show now. Even when you try to watch it, it's not really fun to watch.
Didn't the game used to be halfway competitive? Do they still play the game or no?
Maybe a little something at the end.
It's a little like 5-8 minute game. It's nothing crazy.
Yeah, I feel like it was a pretty competitive game back in the day.
The blue-white
they tried. Yeah, the blue-white games, I feel like even lost its luster.
I remember thinking about talking about Ron Mercer. He was there this weekend, which was awesome. I'm a big Ron Mercer fan. But I remember him. He was coming out of high school. He was one of the big things out there. I think he was number 2 player in the country that year. Mm-hmm. And I remember thinking, I want to see this guy play. I remember waiting for Big Blue Madness because I wanted to see him play. There wasn't YouTube. There wasn't all these outlets to watch him. Nowadays, if you've already seen the kid play 100 times on, TikToks or YouTube highlight, I think that's the main reason for myself.
Yeah, I remember you bringing up Ron Mercer. I went out to Broadbent Arena, and he was on Oak Hill. Me, my dad, my brothers went out and watched Ron Mercer play.
Yep, Thunder and Lightning.
So I didn't watch Big Blue Madness. Did y'all watch it?
No, I just seen highlights.
Josh?
Yeah, I peeked in and out from where I was at. It's the same old stuff. Come out, do some dunks. I enjoy, the whole Mark Pope John Wall moment. I mean, I'm sure that was a cool moment. That's something you want to be at. That's something you want to
Yeah,
see. That's a
they're
memorable
cool.
moment for a Big Blue Madness that everybody's going to remember. That's awesome. And then you got Colin Chandler coming out doing some dunks, who everybody's rooting for. John Wall throwing alley oops.
White boy
Yes.
looked like he dunked from the free throw line.
No doubt. You know what I loved about John Wall? They had that swag, fun, excitement about him. I hope we, maybe have that guy this year that is that really exciting, just tremendous player that, always thinks, human highlight reel, if you want to call it.
or just a personality,
Yeah, I agree with
where,
that.
where,
Yeah.
where, where where you get an interview and you always get a good quote where he's going to talk some junk around about another player,
Yeah,
or
DeMarcus.
yeah, DeMarcus Cousins was one of those. Always good for a quote.
Yeah, he was. I think we should have a really good team this year. I've went down the rabbit hole with NIL spending, guys. I wanted to know about it, and I've learned a lot about it over the last 2 weeks. And I will say this: Kentucky and BYU are outspending everybody.
They are.
Look like both teams spend about $12 million on their basketball teams. After them, it gets to the groups of teams you're familiar with, like Duke, Kansas, the big blue blood programs, and they're right about 8 million. A lot of those programs are. So we should have a really nice ball team from that standpoint. I do think BYU, from what I've read and kept up with, they're having to overpay for players a little bit. So we
Hmm.
should maybe have the most talented roster. I know the AP top 25 came out. We're at number 9. I don't know if that means anything to anybody. We
Means
are at number
nothing.
9. It
Means
don't.
nothing
It
to me.
don't. I agree. I
Well,
agree.
we got that exhibition game, next Friday against
Next
Purdue. It's
Friday,
actually on
too.
next Friday at six
Wow.
o'clock.
They're number 1, aren't they?
Ranked number
Yeah,
one. And it's an
yeah. Kentucky
exhibition.
versus Purdue next Friday at 6 o'clock. It's on SEC Network. You can watch it.
You think they're gonna play it like a game?
You better. That's a
I don't
big
know.
game.
We all remember they used to talk about those secret scrimmages that teams would do, and you would really never know how they played the game, or you'd always hear like who the winner was, maybe, but you didn't know how they structure the game a little bit. So I'm wondering if they'll, real ref. I mean, I'm assuming they're going to have real referees,
Yeah, I
but
think it's gonna be a real game, but I think that the coaches easily could get together before the game and say, hey, I'm going to play 10, 11, 12 guys. I'm really going to get deep on my bench, try some different stuff. I think they can kind of agree to that. Say, hey, we get to the fourth quarter, we get late in the game, we'll turn it on in the last, 5, 6. Not that they're not going to play hard, but I do think there could be an agreement with, we're going to try out some different stuff.
I think.
But it's got to get competitive.
Well,
for
Kentucky,
sure.
Purdue, I think you could get that out of some smaller teams, something like that. But Kentucky and Purdue, I would like to think they'd go at it, but maybe I'm
I,
wrong. I'm
I
wrong
like I
about
like
that.
that. I think they're going to go at it, but I think there
Oh,
could
I do.
like Charlie said. I think there could be some situational stuff that, hey, I'm going to work on this in the second quarter. Could you play a zone, or could you go man to man when I get in a certain set, just to kind of
I
try out
I
certain
could see
things.
that.
I did see a deal voted on by like the peers, so head coaches all around college basketball, and it was like top 10 X's and O's basketball coaches. Purdue's coach was number 1. And I don't think Pope made the top 10, which I think is kind of
Crazy.
I swear to you,
Mm,
that's what that was a smack in the face to him. That was a smack in the
yeah.
face to him. About
There's no way he's not in the top 10.
I've seen it.
I mean, I'm not saying that article
Yeah.
or whatever didn't say he was, but I disagree with that.
Yeah.
That's what he thrives at, is the X's
Right.
and O's.
Yeah, he's a numbers guy. He's an analytics guy. I mean, I like the stuff that he's running. He's getting his players in here now. Let's see what he does.
So what do y'all think about this roster this year?
It's expensive. Look, y'all know I'm a Cal guy, but I'm a Pope guy too. I love him. Wish him all the success. I wouldn't want to spend that much money, because if you're spending that much money, expectations got to be Final Four.
All right. So what do y'all think about the roster?
It's look good.
Owe's preseason SEC Player of the Year.
I like Owe. I think Chandler's going to break out. We got Diabate down low. Brandon Garrison. Let's see if he takes a step up.
Got the young guys coming in.
Yeah, Diabate coming from Alabama. He's a veteran. I think that's a good pickup. I think the question with him is, can he shoot? You know how Pope's offense likes to work. The big guy's got to be able to shoot. I'm not saying he can't shoot, but I don't think he was a big jump shooter at Alabama. So I
No.
wonder how he's going to work. But I like him as a veteran presence. Dude, the guy is Jaden Quaintance. When he gets
Yes.
healthy, it's going to be a problem. Because have you seen that guy play defense, Josh?
Just a pogo stick, man.
Where's
I
he
mean,
out of?
he came from Arizona State.
Yeah, he played at Arizona State, and they said his block numbers per possession or his block rate is like the best in the country.
Yeah.
He's just an athlete.
You got the top spenders in basketball, us, BYU. You got a few of the Blue Bloods right there behind them. But I'm interested to see, and try to follow me because this is going to get a little confusing. But if nobody else is spending the money like, on basketball they are football, when you get to that team that's the fourth team spending or the fifth team spending, and it drops down a pretty good amount, just say it dropped down to $6 million, they're still probably going to get pretty good players because essentially you're going to get the best of whatever we didn't get or BYU or what you wanted to pay a premium for. So it's more than just, a dollar amount. It's where you get your players. But I did see Kiffin. They had asked him about a young player, and he had said, oh, good things. He said, oh, I'm not supposed to do that because, if I do that, then y'all all be shopping my player. So Kiffin's always making the jabs. He's always making the jabs. But he's right. I guess if you got a good young player, you try to hide them. I don't know. It's a whole
I
new
said the
world.
same. I've been saying the same thing. If you got a good young player, I think you have to hide them, especially if you're at a program like Kentucky, to where people are going to come in and poach your players. People are looking for programs like Kentucky, U of L, Mississippi State, programs like that. The big programs are going to want to come in and take our best players.
Yeah, everybody's poachable.
So we mentioned like 2 players on the roster, and then we're right back to money. It don't matter what question you ask, what topic we're on, Anthony is going to take it to the money.
Well,
every conversation
me and Charlie's been arguing. He still thinks tradition matters. Tradition means nothing no more.
I'm not going to get into this argument with you. We can go round and round. Show me
the money. Show me the money, baby.
It don't matter what we're talking about. It always comes back to the money.
Yeah, that's what it's about now. No. That's what you listen to the coaches. They're pretty much saying it without saying it.
Let's get what Josh thinks on this. Josh, if you're a player and you're getting recruited and you've got 5 offers, and all 5 offers are within 5% of each other, whatever the number is, they're all really close. How would you make your decision? What would your decision be made on? Hold on. Let him answer the question. It's a simple question.
Because you're asking a BS question. How is that a question? Because that's not the argument we've had. I agree with that.
All right, let's just go to something else.
No. I got an answer. I agree with that. I got an answer.
So that proves my point that tradition still
yes, but there's a big
Dude, let's stop.
There's a lot big. There's a lot.
I can't even ask questions.
There's a lot big. No, because you're asking what we didn't argue about.
The argument is you say tradition means nothing.
Very little.
And I say it still means something. I have openly said my stance is if you are offered a considerable more amount of money to go to another school, then yes, tradition might not mean nothing. Because if you're going to offer me $1 million more, I'll go play for Louisville. But when it gets close, other things come into the factor. How close you are to home. Is it tradition? Are you a fan of the team? Do you like the coach? Do you like the program? All that shit still matters.
Very little.
It still matters. Dude, what do you think, Josh?
5% yes. You get the 20% no.
Josh, how do you think tradition still matters? That's what we argue about.
As much as you want to yell at Anthony, I think it's leaning Anthony's way. I think tradition is not mattering anymore, but because there's going to be new teams that are good every year on how they spend and who they get. It's the wild, wild west right now. And I think the market, I think in a couple of years, the market fixes itself. And, your Kentuckys, your Louisvilles, your Michigan States, your Dukes, they're going to level out. But I think in the next couple of years, there's going to be some random team that gets a bunch of money one year. And then they buy everybody up. And they'll take from us.
Texas Tech's doing it. Indiana's doing it. There's plenty of them that are doing it. But you're never going to convince me that tradition does not matter. You're never going to convince me that playing for Kentucky basketball doesn't mean something. You're never going to convince me that being the coach of Alabama football doesn't matter. Yes, it does. You are the coach of Alabama. That is tradition, and that shit matters. You are the quarterback at Alabama. You are the point guard at Kentucky. That shit matters. I think we can argue about how much it matters, but you're never going to convince me that tradition's just out the door. Nobody cares about programs or any of the history.
Well, why do these players from these big schools jump around so much? I mean, they're leaving Carolina. They're leaving all these schools
because the money is considerable, and I could get that. If you work for AT&T and Verizon fucking offers you double the money, you're going to go work for them. The tradition doesn't matter at that point. But when it's close,
I give
it
you
comes
that.
down to tradition. You can't tell me that if Texas Tech is going to pay me the same amount as Kentucky in basketball,
Yeah, we're gonna win. We're gonna win
how are you
9
going to
out of
make the
10 of those.
decision if they're both the same?
If it's equal, we're winning 9 out of 10 of
Why?
those.
Why?
Because of the name on the
Why?
front of the jersey. Because of the name on the front of the jersey.
Exactly.
I will say this: before any of the NIL started, I do think kids were starting to change a little bit in a now. This is before NIL, okay? I do think the kids were starting to change a little bit. The kids were going to schools based on fit and playing time and stuff like that. I think years and years ago, it was all about tradition. I
Yeah.
think it was flat out. I mean, kids would go and set 2 or 3 deep behind and just, not play till they were senior, maybe never play. That these kids got smarter and realized, yeah, I might be a Kentucky fan, but they have 2 of me already there. And so I have to go somewhere to fit. I do agree. If the numbers are close, there's other factors at play in account. 5%, absolutely. But I think you start to get to somewhere around 15, 20%. I think it's all money.
And I agree with that. I agree with that. If you're getting offered a lot more money, I get it. But I'll just never think that tradition is just out the door. At some point, there's got to be, when stuff's close, it might not be tradition. It might just be, well, which university is closer to home?
Whoever would have thought?
I mean,
these
stuff
players,
like that was still going to matter.
Whoever would have thought these players would be making this kind of money, yo? And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I don't like it, but maybe it's right still. I don't know. But who would have ever thought these college players are making this kind of money? And you're going to see it with the coaching changes, guys. To me, if I was a coach, and I think Kentucky will have to deal with this. If you were want me as a coach, first thing I would ask is, let me see your NIL situation. What are you going to commit
You're
to
right.
NIL?
That's the number one
Where's
question.
your percentages with your revenue sharing? It's got to be. And I think that's why Signetti, people will have trouble getting him from Indiana. In years past, he would have been gone.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a conversation that's had with whoever that Mitch has conversations with about the next job. Is they're going to want to know how much money they're getting, because you're right. I mean, Kentucky, we're giving more to basketball, but we've had this argument too. I think I think Kentucky should still get the most in basketball. Whatever else you want to give to football, I'm cool with it. But I think every year Kentucky should be the top spender in college basketball.
I know you said that, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Let me ask you this, Josh, and just honest answer. Me and Charlie's talked about this, and we've actually had calm conversations about this. Just say Kentucky's at 12, 13 million on this year's basketball team. Okay. Looks like BYU's there spending with us, but they're just getting money from crazy places. The next group down gets to a lot of your blue bloods, Kansas's, your Carolinas, and they seem to be around that $8 million mark. So it looks like we're spending about 4 to 5 more million than them. So my argument, and I'm not saying I'm right, because it has to be what Mitch wants and the fans want. But my argument is, I think you can be where the blue bloods are, like the very tops of 8, and that's still going to put you at the top of everybody but BYU. I think you can still be at that number. And if you have a really good coach, like I think we have in Pope, win national championships with that number, and that puts you at the top of basketball. If you're one of the top spenders, you can get it done with that. And then that would actually put that extra 4 to 5 million in football, and that would get us closer to where we need to be for whoever is the next. What I guess the question I'm asking is, what do you think about like my proposal of, hey, let's take 12 to 13 from basketball, let's get us down to where the other blue bloods are, and let's take that 4 to 5 million and let's put that to football to get them closer to being competitive at that level. But what's your thought on that, Josh?
What I'm afraid is, when we start spending all this money to try to answer this question, when we start spending all this money, are we just going to be used as leverage? Like, as a guy just like, he's always really going to go to Kentucky, but Kansas is going to give him 3 million, but he's like, man, I want to go to Kentucky, but I'm going to tell them Kansas is going to give me 3. Maybe Kentucky will give me 3.5. Is that the type of stuff?
I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that's happening.
I mean, but do we become that school that just constantly overpays? Do we get that reputation? It's like, dude, you can go to Kansas or you can go to Duke, but Kentucky's always going to give you more. And then that just hurts, the other sports, which is the main thing we talk about is football. That's what I'm afraid with the trend that I see. BYU and Kentucky, like, hey, we can get what if we're the number one player, we're the number one portal player, they're going to give us the most money. So we could potentially always get that player, but
Well, let me.
what are we sacrificing for that?
Do you think other coaches a little gamemanship?
Oh, of
Could
course.
know, like they know that they're not going to get that player, but they almost bid us up. Trying to take money away from us. Yeah, I think that's probably all going on. Would you say, like, it's not talked about, of course, amongst. I think there's so much that coaches want to say, but I think they can't because when
Hmm.
they say it, it makes it look like they're being negative. But I think there's so much that they want to say, and I'll go as far to say this. I've said this to Charlie. I've said it to another good friend of mine. I've learned a lot about the NIL situation over the last 2 weeks at Kentucky and just how NIL works and kind of where the numbers are. I really didn't understand it before. I did, but there was all kinds of numbers. I just never really sat down and tried to understand it. Look, I think Stoops is in a tough situation. I think the next coach, whoever it be, will be in a tough situation if given the same situation. Our athletic director, Barnhart, needs to sit down, do it on KSR, do whatever, do it blitz the bookie, and just have a one-on-one with the fans and explain to them how all this works. Because I think there's so many fans, including me before, that just don't understand where it works. I'm hearing all across the country people saying, "Oh, if Indiana can do it, how can Indiana do it?" They're spending money like that. Don't even come up in their mind. Like it's not even processing in their mind that players are being brought. Yes, I think he's a hell of a coach. I've said it on this show many times. I think he's a hell of a coach. But let's don't kid ourselves. They're spending a lot of money for that guy. That don't make him a good coach. It's both things comboed together, which is giving Indiana success. But I think Barnhart needs to sit down because I'm telling you, there are a lot of Kentucky fans that think Stoops is just some big idiot. And I mean, Texas A&M just tried to hire him 2 years ago. Supposedly Virginia Tech's looking to hire him now. I don't care who it is with the set of situation that we got going on at Kentucky. It's going to be hard to win spending that kind of money with our schedule.
I agree. And I think we're not the only program that's in trouble. I think Louisville's going to be in trouble.
Yeah,
If
but at
they're,
least, and I agree, but at least they're in the ACC. Like,
yeah,
I
that's
think if you
true.
took the money that we spent and you spend that in the ACC, I think you can be competitive. I'm not saying great, but I think you can be competitive. I
But they're
don't
going to have
think,
those expectations too, to where they think they can make the playoff. And if you're
yeah,
not, if you're focusing on, like, say they, and I brought this up at the show the other day, uh,
okay,
is with Louisville's going to have a good basketball team, whether we like Louisville or not. They're going to have a good basketball team, and they've spent money for that team. Well,
sure.
the better you get, those expectations rise. That Yum Center fills up. Well, then those basketball, we're a basketball town. Now, do you keep that money flowing into the basketball program, or does now Jeff Brom get pissed off because now Kelsey's getting more money? They're like, well, we don't have to give him as much money because he's in the ACC. But in the ACC, you still got Miami, you still got Florida State, Virginia Tech's going to rebuild, Clemson. I mean, if you're in the bottom of those 4 or 5 teams I just mentioned, you're not getting in the playoff. And Louisville's not asking to make the playoff every year, but they want to have their opportunity to get in there. But
Sure.
if you're 6, 7, 8 million below what Clemson, Florida State, Miami, Virginia Tech, whoever else, even Georgia Tech is spending, then you're just going to be just like us, but you're going to win 6 or 7 games instead of 4.
Let me add this to the conversation. Because I'm thinking about ways Kentucky can be successful. I mean, I know I'm not the athletic director, but I've told y'all that. I've been really trying to brainstorm, well, how can we be successful? Well, then I think to myself, well, teams have done it before with less talent. Why can't we do that? That's where my mind is. And why ain't nobody else having success like that? This is why. It's an easy answer. Before, high school recruiting was how you built the team for the most part. High school football recruiting, you can miss on. High school football, it's been notorious for not being able to evaluate the talent because you got 6A versus 2A. And so you could find those diamonds in the rough, and it was a lot harder just to transfer schools, and you could get culture. In today's world where we're spending money on transfer portal players, teams like Ohio State, Indiana, whoever it is, Notre Dame, Georgia, Alabama, they're buying players, but at very first NIL, they were buying high school players. Okay, and everybody kind of quit doing that because they seen that was a waste of money. A&M was notorious for that at the beginning of NIL. Now everybody's spending their money on portal players, proven players. Now we have seen these players against Division I talent. So there ain't the misses no more. So when you're spending the money, you're getting a better product. You could have misses a hell of a lot easier when you were recruiting high school kids. Now you're getting transfer portal players. There's not a lot of misses because you've already seen them against Division I talent.
Well, and another thing too is what hurts us is where you would have the SEC is so much deeper now to where you would have a receiver room or a linebacker room at Alabama, Ole Miss, wherever, where they got 5, 6 receivers that may eventually end up in the NFL. We're talking CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Smith, Julio Jones. I'm just throwing. I know those guys weren't all there at the same time, but you have these deep wide receiver running back rooms. Now those guys are getting plucked and they're going to Tennessee. They're going to Ole Miss. They're at Vandy, but they're not coming to Kentucky.
No.
So now all those teams are getting better, and we're left with whatever's left. We're the leftover school because we're not spending the money.
Trinidad Shameless. They needed a backup quarterback coming in this year. Temple offered him $400,000 to be the starting quarterback there. Ole Miss paid him $600,000 to pretty much be the backup. $600,000 to be the backup. Now it worked out for him because he ended up being, when their starter got hurt, it worked out great. But $600,000 to be the backup.
All right, Winkle, what you got, dude? You're over mad at us because we're just talking money.
Because my argument will be you could take the $4 million and you can give it to football and nothing's going to change.
But that'll get you closer.
We're still going to win 6 games.
Why but it gets you maybe it can if you get closer.
You might have one good year and win 8 games.
Why?
I just think that's true.
But I agree with. But also, I agree. It's funny how I agree. I'm going back and forth here. I agree with one, but also I don't have the expectations where we're going to compete for the playoffs. I just want 6 to 8 wins, be competitive, and have a good year. But we are falling farther and further behind.
That should be our expectations because that's what we are. On a good year, we win 8 games.
Yeah, we better get done.
Oh, all right. Kentucky has got Texas coming into town this weekend. What do y'all think about it? We got a chance.
That's going to be hard to
score.
Anthony,
we got a chance. It is going to be hard to score. How many points are we going to score?
Under 10.
Come on.
Less than 10. Yeah, under 10. What's that with Jinx?
Y'all was both on that at the same time.
Might not score.
I'm going to say 9.
But I will, by game time, have some kind of game plan in my head. And it's going to be hard to say because I don't know where I'm going to start. But I'm going to have some way to convince myself that we're going to win that game.
Texas's offense isn't just blowing me away. And I've watched them 4 or 5 times. I think it's just going to be an ugly game. Texas is just going to come in, dominate the game, get the W, and roll out. It's going to be 23-6.
I think I will
30-9.
I watched the Texas. I got to watch a lot of college football this weekend. I loved it. I feel like I watched every game, but I didn't. But anyhow, it's cool to watch college football from the beach and just you're looking out the ocean. You got 2 or 3 TVs going. That's awesome. No responsibilities. That was awesome. I had a chance to watch the Texas-Oklahoma game, and I'm going to be honest with you. I see hope with Texas. I do. I see hope with them. I think they found a little bit of an identity against Oklahoma, and I think it's what they should be, a running football team. They look like they're a lot better at run blocking than they are pass blocking. When they were getting physical, when they were using their running back, they were moving that Oklahoma defensive line, which we know is one of the best in college football. And with that defense, they're tough. The way I analyze it, Texas outplayed Ohio State that first game. So Texas is a dangerous team. It's going to be a tough night for Kentucky.
To me, I just worry, and I shouldn't say worry. I just hope that everybody stays on board for the second half of the season. When I say everybody, I mean the players on the team.
Yeah, I'm with you.
If half of our fans give up, that's fine. But I hope that the players don't give up like we saw last year, because it was pretty evident that the players, a lot of them gave up last year. And I just don't want to see that happen as a fan. And honestly, I don't want to see it happen for Stoops.
No.
As much as I think it's probably time to, make a change with Stoops, I don't want to see his players give up on him again. I just want to be competitive. Like you said, Josh, 6 to 8 wins, not happening this year, but can we please just be competitive for the rest of the season? Somewhat competitive.
I hope so.
Generate a little bit of offense.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of offense. It's going to be hard this weekend, but come on, we need something. I see it 30-9 or something ugly. we get a touchdown, miss the extra point, and then get a field goal. We end up with 9 points. It might be 3 field goals though.
Now we'll do something stupid. We'll end up with like 8. We'll score a touchdown, miss the extra point, and then somehow get a safety late.
We'll win this game. We'll find a way.
I hope so. Find that angle, make a TikTok.
Yeah, me too.
Well, let's talk real quick about what happens. What happens if Kentucky does win?
Yeah.
Then what?
I don't think we're as bad as people think we are, but I think it's a tough game.
What happens
if they win?
If we win,
I feel
what happens with the fans? What happens with the Stoops' the perception of Stoops? Does it change?
It helps him, but I think
you think it would change with any fans. You think anybody would say, "Man, we just beat Texas. It's time to keep them." I don't know. Maybe we would. Look, if we beat them in convincing fashion, it might be an argument to roll with it.
There are so many fans. I get on message boards all the time. There are so many fans that are so lost on this. These are people that get some of them. They get on the non-premium site, but they're just so lost. Like they don't even, we mention money a lot. They don't even mention money at all. Like they act like money is not an object right now. It's like, what world are you living in right now? That's what it's about.
I don't even know what I would think if we beat Texas. I don't even know what I'd be numb. I don't even know the next step for UK football, win or lose.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah, we'd have fun for that day.
Would that end Texas' season for the playoffs?
Oh, yes.
It would definitely.
Dude.
Yeah, if Kentucky wins, it'd be a weird situation because it'd be awesome, and then it'd be like, well, do we roll with Stoops? Run it back? I don't know. But I mean, think about it. Like if he does beat Texas, and then we could have beat Ole Miss, you'd be that close to two really big wins.
Then we beat Florida.
Oh man, I mean,
Stoops got to want out. I think Stoops wants out at this point. I think he wants a better situation. If the guy still wants to coach and he has fight, he's got to want a better situation. And, the negativity, whatever, and he gets it. And you hear Stoops talks about it. He gets it. He understands that part, and I'll give him credit for that. The guy don't make a lot of excuses. He said one thing about money one time, and the fans scolded him. And that's just the truth. He told pony up, and man, it opened up on him.
Yep.
They don't want to hear it.
Well, that was at the very beginning of all the NIL shit too. So people were still very like,
I think you could say it now, or he could have said it last year.
He was telling the truth now, but he took so much scolding for it that he just won't say it no more.
But I do agree with the fact that I think Stoops probably. Why would he not want out?
I would.
The negativity and the mojo around here with the fans and how easy the fan. I'm a Kentucky fan. And I'm not one of these, but a lot of Kentucky fans will give up on you real easy.
Real easy.
Josh might be one of those.
No. I mean, I've always been diehard football, and but I mean, it's when it's time.
You wore red earlier.
Dude, that was my Halloween costume. I was doing it for our. Anthony probably ain't even seen it yet. I can't wait till he sees it.
You wore it. Anthony, who's the most famous coach to ever wear a visor?
Spurrier.
Yeah, that's what
he got it.
So what coaches right now currently wear a visor?
The Auburn coach does. What's his name? Gus Mount.
There's another one.
Yeah, he wears.
We didn't think of that one, Josh.
Yeah, we said
wear them sometimes.
Kirby does.
Kirby, that's a good one too. Kirby does wear them. All we said was Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin. I used to wear a visor. I like a visor, dude. I like a visor. I do.
I'll make fun of you if I see you in a visor.
Yeah, I wear a visor.
I'm bald on top. I can't wear one.
Who's going to be the new Penn State coach?
Matt Rule.
Who's going to be?
Matt Rule.
I got you. Who's the intern? Did they give the intern to the
I didn't pay no attention.
Knowles? Yeah, I didn't either.
So what about Louisville traveling down to Miami? Me and Josh already talked about this. We made our pick on the first half of the show. What do you think, Anthony?
Big storms coming.
Louisville got a chance?
Louisville's having offensive line trouble. Miami has a really good defensive line. That's not a good
terrible combo.
We knew that was coming.
Honestly, they might hurt Miller Moss, and I hope they don't. But I don't wish injury on nobody. But that defensive line gets after it. I do think if you could ever get the Miami secondary players and their wide receivers, I do think they're vulnerable in those areas, but ain't nobody been able to do it yet. Notre Dame got close. Florida played with them to the last quarter there, but thing about it is Miami ain't going to have to play too many more tough games. Neither is Ohio State. There's a bunch of them that don't even have a top 25 game left. Must be nice.
So has Louisville got a chance or not?
No chance.
No chance.
I like
Hammer
that game a lot. I hope I don't jinx it.
Josh, we're 2 days past the first half of the show. You like Louisville or Miami?
The U, baby. I've already bet the U.
Is that 2 L's?
No, that's the U.
That's 2 L's. See that?
It's even got a red tint.
It does have a red. Your fingers are red. Why are your hands so red?
I don't know.
Louisville fan, man.
He's a little. Was that 2 L's or was it a U?
It's a U. The U.
Crips.
They don't have a chance. Everything would have to go right for U of L, and everything would have to go wrong for Miami.
It seemed almost too easy. It's like a jinx bet or something.
What's the spread?
Like it was top 13, now it's 14.
14.
Yeah. But dude, and I even said this on the show, and I've said it.
100.
I think, I say this. I think weekday games are weird, and damn it, I've already bet this one. Son of a bitch. I say it. I think the Thursday night NFL games are weird, and I think the weekday night NCAA games, whether it's the MAC or the ACC on Friday nights.
Well, don't you think that Miami's coach can prepare them for that? Hey, this has happened, guys, during the week. Shannon Dawson being ex-UK guy, he can't like U of L. You don't have many more hard games left. This is one of the last ones that can stumble. They want to be the top dog in college football again. I feel like the motivation's there for Miami. I really do.
I hope so. I bet it. I want to win.
Yeah, me too. How bad would it be to see U of L beat Miami? That'd be bad, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, we don't want to see that.
We'd have to hear it forever. What do you think the odds are Kentucky and Louisville both win this weekend?
Oh,
The
both?
odds that we both win?
Yep.
Holy shit.
Can you
low.
Negative? No way they could both win. That would be wild. Wow.
What's odds on it? They should like a
Well,
local
what's the odds on
14
Kentucky?
times 14,
What's
right?
the odds on Kentucky to win? Probably
6
to 1.
Is that the blitz the bookie?
7-1.
Is that the Kentucky, our first ever right side of Kentucky sports 2-team parlay? Can Louisville and Kentucky both money line against top 20 teams?
No blitz the bookie, no right side of Kentucky sports parlay.
We don't pick Louisville around here, Josh.
Can
I don't
you hear
know.
us?
I can hear
Can
you.
you hear us?
I can hear you. Yes.
He's trying to talk us into putting Louisville and betting on them and stuff.
No.
He's sneaky, dude. He's sneaky.
No Louisville in a parlay over here.
No, sir.
All right, we'll catch y'all next week, guys. Cheer on the Cats, cheer on the Canes,
Pray for them.
and we'll see y'all next week.
See ya.
Blitz the bookie.
Yep.
Oh, there he is with a Louisville shirt again.